Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
We've talked about a bunch of different parts of the preparation process to hit. Let's talk about breathing for a second. So, breathing is huge. It's another thing that I don't think most players think about. And players start to get out of control when something bad happens, and they don't know how to slow everything down. So, let's say you're hitting. There's one strike on you. You get a pitch that you know is a ball. Ball bounces, we've all been there. Umpire, strike two. Most players not going to react very well to that, right? They start getting upset. Their heart rate starts to get faster and faster. So what would you do to combat that instead of just jumping back in the box?
I need to take a step out and call time and hit the reset button.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath, find a focal point on my bat or in the field like a foul pole, and then just turn back around, and then I'm re-locked back in.
Right.
Same thing if like doing your batting gloves. Like you just got to find something that's going to turn the mind off to then turn it back on, because you're so angry. All you're going to do, you're going to jump, you're going to swing at stuff you don't want. Right. You're just going to you just need to go get it, and you can't. It needs to be controlled aggression. You're just being angry.
So I see the same thing. I think, and you can see it as a coach, if I'm coaching third base, and sometimes I might call timeout, or I might have to tell the hitter, hey, step out, take a breath. This is something you probably want to talk to your hitters about beforehand. Mm-hmm. Not that they'll all remember, but you can say, hey, if things start to speed up for you, I might tell you to step out for a second and take a deep breath.
Yeah.
So, because what most players do is like, they'll say they chase a pitch, or they take a pitch that's not a strike and it's called a strike. Mm-hmm. And instead of stepping out, they get right back in the box as fast as they can. And all they're thinking of is that horrible call that was just made on them. Yep. And then ball bounces, they chase, strike three.
See, and I don't even have a problem always with you getting right back in the box, but still just take the breath or like find the focal point. Like you can rush back in, but like look at the foul pole. Just still find a way to just decompress in the moment.
Yeah, you don't have to take 10 minutes to walk all over the place. But I think a deep breath, like again, in through my nose, let it out slow. Like if I breathe slow, I can feel myself calm down. Mm-hmm. When you're excited or really pissed off, most players are breathing super fast. So I breathe slow, that calms me down. And then the focal point that you mentioned, like finding something on your bat, that for me like just brings me back to the present. Like if I'm looking at something specific on the bat, or you mentioned the foul pole, or you mentioned undoing your batting gloves for a second, because I'm doing something and I'm focusing on something, that means I'm not focusing on whatever bad just happened to me. So instead of thinking about the umpire's call, I'm in the present, like I'm looking right, like this M right on my bat. Deep breath, okay, now I step back in, and now I feel much more calm than if I were to just jump back in and I'm thinking about that horrible call, because it usually only leads to more bad things happening. It just snowballs.
And how you said, like, what you're trying to do is not get yourself upset anymore, trying to fix that in your own head.
Like flip the switch.
Exactly. Baseball, like how you're saying, like that was a negative thing that happened to you. Well, we can't think negatively. We need to erase that as quick as possible and try to continue to be positive.
Right.
It's already such a hard sport. Being negative isn't going to help.
Yeah, you're going to fail 70% of the time.
And that makes you the best of the best.
Exactly. So if you can't get over that one bad thing that happened, you probably will not be good at baseball or softball. You have to go play something else where you're going to be way more successful. So that's one of the biggest things about baseball and softball is you're going to fail a ton. Can you get over the failure? Breathing, focal point, like those things will help you.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. So try that out. And if you're a coach, explain that to your players, because most players won't understand it. And then force them to do it in the game. Really force them and say, ask them afterwards, did you find a focal point? Did you take a breath? And that's how they start to learn. So give it a shot. It'll help them out.
And doing those things too, it shows discipline. It shows that you're willing to learn and that you're mentally getting better and tougher, because baseball is more mental than physical.